Good morning, everybody. Sitting in downtown Main Street, near I'd almost call it like the banking district, kind of. There's the sun. There's my friend the sun. Today, I wanted to take a little look at a guy that is a very unusual sculptor. He makes these things. Can you see that little swan type thing? Has little palm. It's a swan mailbox, is what it is. And then you've also got this guy, which is like, I guess like an Uncle Sam right there holding the flag. These sculptures you can see all over town, basically, because a lot of them are like mailboxes or they have signs. And he actually has a shop out here called Two Dude, and he's got a lot of these guys sitting out here. A penguin there. Did I say penguin? It's not a penguin. A dog. He's got all this stuff on display right here. So when you come in, you can see all this crazy stuff. Look at this little stuff down here. See this baby? And these are basically made so they can go outside. And then they got these little small guys that I think hold business cards here. There's a dog there. All kinds of suns up here, and the trademark face is like this little smiley face here. This guy's holding a barbecue grill. That's pretty cool. Basically, anything you can imagine is in here. These guys are holding basketballs. There's a lizard on the wall up here. Some small little guys. See, he's got the little business cards there. All kinds of stuff. How's it going, Scott?
Good morning.
So this is the guy, Scott Gerber, correct?
Yep.
That started all this, and you say you started about 6 years ago?
Yep. Started July of 2010.
And so this was the first guy, right?
This number one dude. He's got about 4,000 brothers and sisters that live in 48 different countries.
So tell me, so this is the first guy you made after you were having issues with your other.
What happened was I was a yacht builder in 2010. A lot of the yacht companies went out of business, and so I needed something that would hold my fishing pole because I knew I was going to have a lot of extra time on my hands. And so I built this guy and put him on my dock. And it was really funny because I had a party on the 4th of July, and he was actually built on the 1st of July. And on the 4th of July, I used to have this giant party, lived on the water, and we'd have like 300 or 400 people over. And everybody, he was at the end of my dock, and everybody would come up to me and they'd go, "Hey Scott, who's the dude fishing on your dock?" And that's how I got his name.
It's very unique.
Oh, yeah.
Because I don't know that I've ever seen anything like that. Just basically like a stick figures type. And the other interview I watched, you mentioned something about driving in your truck when you had the idea.
Yeah, what happened was in 2010, a lot of the people were depressed, and a lot of people had been affected by the recession. And so what I did to try to help myself was try to help other people. So what I did was I put together 4 Two Dudes that held signs over their heads, and the signs would say inspirational things like, "Hang in there, it's going to be okay, be thankful for what you have," stuff like that, hug your kids. And so what I would do is I would put them out on busy intersections during the busiest time of day when traffic was really heavy. And I'd sit in my truck and I would read an inspirational book or something to try to get me through this tough time. And the word started to kind of spread about who are these dudes, who's putting them out there, why is he doing it?
So they just sort of materialized.
Yeah, they just materialized. It was never in the same spot.
And so you basically just put them in your truck and pop them down?
I pop them up for about 3 hours, like between 4 and 7, get the heavy traffic times. And then I would rush over and pick them up real quick. And then one day I was doing it, and the sun was starting to go down, so I threw them in the back of my truck, and somebody snuck up behind me and they go, "I caught you." And I go, "What do you mean you caught me?" He goes, "Who are you and why are you doing these?" And so I kind of explained that this was my therapy to try to help myself by helping other people. And the very next day, I wake up and I look at the newspaper, and I'm on the front page of the paper.
You just happen to have a shop like from the yacht.
Believe it or not, the first couple ones I built in my garage, and it was like the very next day, the code enforcement came over and knocked on my door and says, "You can't be building these things in your house." So I went and rented a shop And and then we started there, and we've moved a couple of times. We started off in the Rosemary District in the historic part of Sarasota, and then we moved out to St. Armand Circle, and we were there for 3 years, and now we've moved back to Main Street, which I really love. It's really starting to become a really cool happening spot. There'll be 55.
This is kind of like a cool old house that you're in.
Yeah, it was built in 1928.
Wow.
It's been a challenge to turn around, but we love it. Yeah.
You want to talk about just like some of the more interesting ones you have?
We've made over 4,000 tube dudes, and every single one of them is unique, and they're inspired by the person who owns it. And it's usually a reflection of their personality or something they'd like to express to the rest of the world. And so we've got everything from...
So I can just come in here and just say, I want this, and then you build that?
You can come in here and say, like, look, I'm a soccer player. I love soccer. And, like, for instance, we just did one that was a soccer player. It was a fire pit. So it was a guy sitting on a soccer ball, holding a fire pit. It went to Denver, Colorado, and the uniform on the tube dude was the Colorado Rapids, which is their pro team. And
you just put a shirt on him?
We painted the uniform on the dude, yeah. And so...
Well, can you talk about a little bit more specifically about the fact that he's a stick figure, where that came from? Because
you know what it was, yeah. When I built the very first one, I was doing the face, and here, this is a good example. So I was doing the face, and one of my guys came over and said, Scott, why don't you put ears and a nose on it? And I said, look, all I'm trying to do is convey a smile, happiness. You don't need ears, and you don't need a nose. What you do need is you need a big smile, and when you smile, your eyes get bigger. And so I used a thicker aluminum for the eyes than the rest of it, so that gives it the impression that they're brighter. And so the simplicity, I think, is the magic, because the imagination is the strongest part of your body. I can live this house with my imagination.
It reminds me of the Have a Nice Day guy, where it's just two eyes and a smile.
Yeah.
Very simple.
Very simple.
And I don't know if that made $1 million, but that was something
It did
you
pretty well.
can never forget, because it's
It
on the
did.
shirts, and it was in the
Yeah.
Forrest Gump movie too.
It's just where you're painting
mailbox.
the mailbox that fits on that right now.
There you go.
But they have a labradoodle, a yellow labradoodle that looks like that. And so it'll hold a bone in the other hand that has their address on it.
Wow. And these are little business card guys?
holders, yeah. And then we do...
How much are the small guys going for?
They're like $175. We got about 4,000 colors you can pick from. And we do a lot of custom work for different businesses, real estate agents and stuff like that, and we can incorporate their logo into them. These are iPad holders that are really fun. Some of the stuff that we've done is not necessarily a tube dude. Like, for instance, I just made a gate that looked like this piece. It lit up.
That almost looks like hidden Mickeys. You know what a hidden Mickey is?
Yeah, that's a real popular
TV
one.
holding guy.
Yeah, a lot of people use those. And then we have one in the corner that's standing, which is really popular because a lot of people will buy that one when they live in an apartment or something.
Which one?
They don't want to tear up the walls, or they can put it in front of a window.
TV. Oh, he's a standing TV holder. There you go. He's kind of like hiding back there, so I didn't see him at all. So that bolts right to the TV.
Yeah, and then the grill holder, that's another really popular one.
Yeah, there's some great
And
stuff
we
in
can
there.
theme them all up. Like, we just sent a blue one out that had a cowboy hat and cowboy boots. If you live on a golf course, you put the golfer in your backyard, you own the golf course.
I could definitely see how you could, that it makes people smile. You just look at it and go, what the?
Oh yeah.
And the oddity, or just you're like, what?
Well, see how we painted the uniform on this basketball player and the hockey player? That's how we did that Colorado Rapids.
There you go. Yeah, you can see the little thing on it.
Yeah. So, this, again, it's a way, what you do if you put one of these at your house, you brand your house, is the people that live in this house have a sense of humor, they're happy people. And, what that does is it attracts like people the same. So you'll meet people that are also have the same type of attitude. So this is, I've had customers tell me this is a life-changing event. They've moved into
I definitely feel like I'm just smiling just looking at stuff.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's tough not to smile when you're in here.
Sometimes if you're out in the wild, you can see these tube dudes roaming around because occasionally they actually escape from Scott's showroom and they're running free. And if you can find one, oh, I think I see one. I think I see one down there. you can find him, you can have him. He doesn't see me. I'm going to get him. I'm going to get him. I'll see you guys later. I got this one. I got him.